what you can see behind me is the actual newest Norman structure on site. This is the Barbican Gate. So where we are standing right here, if you look to your left and right, this is actually a big ditch. This actually would have been possibly a dry moat. There could have been timber stakes, and there would have been a drawbridge here. So the drawbridge, as you can see at the top there at the Barbican Gate, the door would have lowered down across here and you would have been able to travel. So when the door was raised up, you couldn't get in. So when the door was down, you would have travelled in here. And then above our heads was called the murder hole. So they would have threw stones not down on top of us. As you can see, it's a tall structure. So you would have come in here. And then if you are attacking from the outside, from the ditch, you can see these descending arrow loops. If you want to get a look down in there, see, you can fire right down into the ditch. So imagine yourself as an archer with a big bow and arrow. You could stand here, you've got a good area to stand in, and you can fire them down, and your friends could throw stuff down from the top, rocks or kind of maybe boiling oil or pitch down on top of the people. And then this whole area is the Barbican area here, and if you did manage to make it this far, you want to be firing down on you as well. This is the inner Barbican where we are, and this is the big curtain wall. So what I'd like to show you first, this is the wall batter, just a part of the original Celtic dune, and then you have the wall batter here. And what you've actually got here is the original gate tower. This was probably the first structure that was built on the site. But what the Normans did was, when they built the new gatehouse here beside us, they actually blocked up this entrance. And they kind of made it look like there was nothing here. So anyone attacking here wouldn't realise that this wall is much weaker. When you go on the inside and look at it, you can see it's only half filled in, and that if anyone had fired a big rocket at from a catapult right here, they probably would have broke in. You can actually see the masonry on the outside there, but yeah, this area is the original entrance to the Norman. Now that's the gatehouse. This was built by probably William Marshall II, so we're probably talking about maybe 1220s or that. It might be a little bit earlier, but probably not. It was kind of put in on the main area. What you can see up here is part of their defensive structures. See the descending arrow loops. So what you can see there, as you can see on the inside, a person with a bow and arrow standing on the inside is able to fire down. So if I was attacking up at it, they'd be actually shooting down at me. And the same, there's a side defensive arrow loop and another one here. You can just see the last tiny bit of it here. That's the arrow loop. So there was actually two rooms here on either side of the gatehouse, and there would have been a portcullis that would have come down, came up the hill, and then through this gate. What you're probably wondering is why the entrance to the outer Barbican isn't in line with this entrance, because the entrance to the outer Barbican is over there, so you come around in an S shape to get in through here. But that's if somebody's bringing up a battering ram. It's so much easier for you to go straight through one gate and straight through the other gate. Whereas if you've got a battering ram and let's say 10 guys kind of hauling it along, if you're to start doing S hoops with your battering ram, and you have again these descending arrow loops and guys up on the top firing down at you, it's going to decimate your troops before you even get the battering ram at the gate. So over here is one of my favourite parts of the site, just for the views alone. As you can see again, you can see all the way around you. You can see right down below us, that is the outer Barbican, which would have been actually had an actual moat, although it would have been a kind of a dry moat, and any attackers would have to have tried to clamber up all that and then get through the actual Barbican itself. And even if they got into the Barbican, which you can see out here, they'd be shot on at every side. You can fire from here, you can fire from the towers. And then basically where you see the keep up there, the main keep, there would have been a walls running. We'll actually walk up to them. That wall divided, which is the outer wall, this area here, from the inner wall, which is the other side.
Some bodies strewn around there.
Yeah.
My God, to even get this far, and then you...
That's it. By the time you actually get up into it, you know, your soldiers will already be is what's called the postern gate. So keep this in mind, right? You're down there fighting, attacking, you're doing really well, you're about to break in. William Marshall was there having tea. You're like, we have him, he's not going to get away. Then William Marshall decides he doesn't really want to fight anymore. So what he does, he comes down to what's called the postern gate. He basically walks down in here, and as you see the two walls there, they don't exactly meet up. It's because there is actually a hidden doorway there. So you'd go down the steps. This area, when you're kind of looking at it, just looks like two walls. But basically the walls aren't meeting. There's the doorway. He would have went out through that doorway down there, and he could have escaped. But like more
secret escape
route, yeah. An awful lot of cats had postern gates. The other thing, I suppose, a lot of time actually wouldn't be said Lord or that escaping out. But if you wanted to say send out messengers, remember, I was saying you're basically sieged, and like you need reinforcements. You have to be able to tell them you need help in the first place. So you would have sent people out there. Maybe you actually would have sent out guys at night to go foraging. Maybe even sometimes you see in the actual movie send guys out to go destroy the catapults and come back in. So, you know, it's kind of, so basically the postern gate was a kind of the actual Normans, I suppose, secret weapon in a way that you could always escape just while the people were coming up and attacking you. I'd say, and I love that. That's really cool.
That is cool, yeah.
And then this is the wall. There's one on the other side of the keep as well. That is divided into areas. And always the best way.
Thank God I've good footwear.
Oh yes. Very true. When you come here, you need really good. And a really good camera. All spread out. Now you kind of know why the ancient Gaelic decided to put a dune here in the first place, and also the Normans decided to put a fort here as well, as you can see all around you. Tiny piece of wall here. Possibly maybe a bit of a tower that you see the fields down there underneath us where you can see those scarecrows. This is where the actual lost medieval village of Dunamase was. There's actually a town associated with the castle here.
It's the outer town.
Yeah, an actual outer town.
And the wind, of course, and just tell you how far you're up.
It does, it gets very windy here. So now we're actually at the back of the keep. This was like kind of a tower on the outside of the keep, and we'll come down to the cistern. So that's the cistern. Basically, remember we were saying if your castle's under siege, you'd have your food supplies, but you need a water supply. So the Normans dug that big pit in there, and that would have been naturally filled with water, and then when a siege or that happens, you could just draw the water from there without having to try and send men out to get barrels of water and that, so you could withstand months possibly. You know, and in Ireland it rains a lot, so the cistern would continue to keep getting filled. And then, as we can see, there's the keep. Obviously, a lot of the window molds that have been all changed in the 1700s.